that plan worked out. And that's today's video. I'm going to close out my September budget. Not only is it important to have a plan for your money at the beginning of the month, but when you get to the end of the month, it's important to see how that plan worked out. And that's today's video. I'm going to close out my September budget. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is A Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly, and on this channel, I document my financial journey, and I show you my budget. I show you my real numbers. I show you how I did, how much money I actually spent, how much money I earned, things of that nature. That's what this video is. I'm actually closing out my budget for September, so we will get into it and see how I did. So, sorry, my nose itches right now as soon as I started recording. Income wise, this is my budget column. This is my actual column. So, I earned from my regular job, it's a W-2 job, $3,781.50. My mother gave me $405, 300 more than she was anticipating. And then I had $160.08 of miscellaneous extra income. Now, this tends to be things like when I get a tax return, I throw it there. When I use gift cards or, exchange any kind of, I got what I think of, if I return something and I get money back on my card, things like that, I put it there. I also put any kind of dividend interest from my high yield savings account and stuff there. So I don't ever really budget for it specifically. It's more just I will indicate that I've gotten it there. It's also like if somebody owes me money for something, they pay me back, whatever goes there, so I can kind of keep track of it. Decent amount this month. Most of that I think is interest from my high yield savings. But anyway, total income $4,346.58. So now we get to the money I spent. I broke my budget this month kind of on accident. So if you've watched some of my weekly transactions videos, I talked about this. I switched everything over to a new bank because I've just gotten so tired of the bank that I've been using and the bill pay issues that I've been having. And I was like, you know what? That's it. Pulling the plug. I'm done. So I still had some of the bill pay stuff set up in my old bank, and I was setting it up in my new bank. And everything comes out. I have my stuff to come out like at the beginning of the month, but because it was a holiday, it was a long weekend, Labor Day weekend, in America. The money wasn't supposed to come out till like, I think the 3rd of the month, maybe 4th of the month, something like that. Like it was going to be a few days in. And so I should have gone in and canceled them sooner, but I didn't. I remember thinking like once I got them set up in the other one and I was like, oh, well, no, I have time because they're not coming, the money's not coming out till like the 4th or 5th. And it's, I don't know, August 27th or something. So I was like, I've got plenty of time. I can do that. And so when I finally went to do it, which was like the 28th, 29th, maybe, I looked and the money had already come out. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. So the money came out for my mortgage in both places well before the money was supposed to go out, or at least before like the date on the payment date. And I couldn't claw either of them back. So, and I tried to like contact the bank and say, like, can you make this a principal only payment? And guess what? They didn't. It's fine. It's fine. I just made 2 mortgage payments for no reason whatsoever. So I knocked my principal down about, I don't know, a couple $100. That's about it. Now the rest of the money would have been dispersed to like, I will get some of that back because at some point there will be too much in my escrow account and they can't, like, once I get to the end of the year, they'll have to refund it. So, or if insurance and taxes have gone up so much that it doesn't cover it, then I was going to be eating that cost regardless. However, I would rather have had that and earn the interest on it for a year than coughed it up to them. So amazingly irritated. So I made 2 mortgage payments. So my mortgage this month was $1,297.34. Electric 65.97, natural gas 24.41. That's going to start going up now. I don't have the heat on yet. I'm actually surprised I made it all the way through September and most of October. It's been warm, which okay, because it costs me less in natural gas. I don't hate, but also because it's fall and it's supposed to be cool, crisp air and it's supposed to get chilly. I'm very annoyed that I haven't had to turn the heat on yet. So, anyway, natural gas 24.41. That's pretty much just cooking on my stove. Sewer $63. That's a flat rate. Water 37.95 because I also paid that one twice. Great. Now I budgeted $30 and it ended up not being $30. So anyway, cool. Cool. Garbage. It's not a garbage month. That's actually in October or no, it's November. Internet. 108.81. That's another one that I paid twice. So fortunately in my October budget, which if you've seen that video, you know, there's some I'm just not like, I'm not paying this bill this month. I'm not paying the water bill because I'm over. So that's great. Cell phone 71.70. Groceries. Yikes. Bikes went over on groceries 362.93. Not sure what that deal is, to be honest. I've been way under 300 most of the time. I think it's probably because I had like I had to get some vitamins. There were some pricier purchases happening this month that don't typically happen, but that's where I'm at. I don't know. My life insurance, I budgeted my life insurance, but I don't think they actually took the money out. So that's handy. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's not really life insurance. It's like accidental death insurance. And I'm considering canceling it. It's $7.50 every quarter. It's one of those things you feel like it's irrational, but you feel like, oh, if you cancel it, then you're going to go have an accidental death. It's not even that much, but like it's enough, I think, for like my mother to sort out to be able to pay for the things she has to pay for to sort out my estate or whatever's left of my estate. So like it's not a big deal. Gas 157.33. So it's under on gas, which is kind of crazy because I did a lot of driving in September. I think I filled up my tank 3 times in 1 week. House garden $10.06. Restaurant way over on restaurant 146.13. Now, part of that is because my mother and I we went to my cousin's father-in-law's viewing, and we were near enough to a place that's like our favorite restaurant, and we went to it, and my mom and I just basically like I just decided to treat her. So that was probably like $110 of that right there. So given that, I'm not super duper upset about it being that much over because I truly if you take that one incident out or just we split it, um, I would have been under. So I'm okay with it. Fitness 41.85. That is what I pay to go to my gym every month, which sounds like an expensive gym. It's really the Y, and I go because I swim, and that's the only place I can swim. So that is what it is. Personal. I didn't spend any of my personal money this month, which I guess is handy since I went so over on other things. Miscellaneous, for example, 118.21. I sent $100 to my niece's brokerage account. Now that's $50 comes from me, and $50 comes from my mom. As a matter of fact, the reason my mother ended up giving me so much more money, I don't think I addressed this. So she typically gives me a share of some subscription services that we share. She gives me money towards our cell phones because she's on my plan, and then she gives me $50 to put into a brokerage account for my niece. That's typical. We ended up, we were taking a trip to the Bahamas, and our Spirit Airlines, as we were flying down to Miami to get on the cruise ship, and Spirit just randomly, now our cruise leaves on a Monday, and we were flying down on Saturday to kind of give us some wiggle room because it's wintertime, so you have to always kind of adjust. And Spirit emails us and is like, "Hey, we've canceled your Saturday flight and booked you for Sunday afternoon." And, the whole thing of like, if this is a problem for your travel, like, let us know. We can refund you, blah, 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 blah. So, like, my mom got on the little chat thing and was like, yeah, this is a problem. I want to be booked for Saturday. Oh, sorry, we can't book you for Saturday. And so my mom's like, well, then I'll take a refund. So we're getting new flights. So while my mother was doing that, I was finding new flights from a different airline. And they even made it worse. Like, we were flying direct, and now we were no longer flying direct, but rather through Houston. Like, we live in Pennsylvania. We're flying from Baltimore to Miami. And all of a sudden it was um, you know, Baltimore to Houston, Houston to Miami, and I was like, I'm not taking a connecting flight. Like, if I have to take a connecting flight, it's gonna be somewhere along the Eastern Seaboard. Like, you're gonna fly me to Raleigh, you're gonna fly me to Atlanta, and then I will drive the rest of the way there if I have to. I'm not running the risk of, like, being so far delayed or having a problem in Texas that, like, the plane can't get out of Texas. Now I'm stuck in Texas and I've got to drive all the way across the southeastern United States and then straight down to Miami. I was like, I ain't happening. So we managed to get a refund, and in the process, I got rebooked. I was rebooking, but now my mother originally had paid for the tickets from Spirit, and I just gave her the money, or rather, like, I paid for the cruise, and we're taking the train back, which is gonna be really fun. I paid for the cruise and the train tickets, and then we basically just deducted the value of my plane ticket off of what she owed me for the train and the cruise. So, um now now I'm paying for all 3. And so she owed me the money for it. So, anyway, because she was getting everything refunded to her, so she just owed me the money for that. So, that's why she suddenly has given me so much more money this month. Not typical unless I'm buying lots of things for her because she can't get to the store or something. So, anyway, $100 to my niece's brokerage. That's 50 from me, 50 from my mom. $70.83 to my brokerage account. It's just a regular taxable brokerage. I learned not too long ago, or realized, I think probably like February or March-ish, that between my HSA contributions, and I always put the max in, um, so between like what the current max level was, between the new max for Roth IRAs, which is $7,000, the HSAs is like $4,150. Um, that I was really, really close to having $1,000 a month go towards some type of investment account for my future. And so, yeah, $70.83 put me at that $1,000 marker. So, like, that's pretty exciting to me to know that, like, I am putting $12,000 a year away towards something. Now, my HSA, I could use, I don't have to use it in retirement. My plan is to keep it going until retirement and to not actually tap into it. So, there's that. My Roth IRA, obviously, I'm not gonna touch until I'm 59 and a half. My taxable brokerage, I could do sooner. I opened it originally with the thought that, all right, once I have all of my like normal goals, I'm going to take the time then to put any money I have left over at the end of the month is going to go into that taxable brokerage, and I'm going to start building that up. And then I think I opened it and probably didn't put anything into it for a year because I had so many other like financial goals, and I still do. I'm honestly debating at this point whether it's worth it to throw some of the money in that I am putting away for my car. And we'll see. Basically, once I get my emergency fund to $20,000, and once I get my car fund, which is going to be another $20,000, which, barring any major expenses, should probably, my emergency fund will be about maybe this year, maybe. So I'm going to be very, very close this year. So if not, probably January. And then I'm able to save about $1,000 a month towards my emergency fund. So, and that actually doesn't include the 3 pay months or the tax return months. So I would think that, like, I could probably do about $12,000 a year. So for 2 years is what it would take for me to save up that money, I'm guessing. And or close to 2 years anyway. So then after that, I can just take that extra 1,000 and be putting it into a brokerage account, and we'll go from there. So anyway, that's where we're at. 500 to the Roth IRA, $35 in work expenses, which I forgot to budget for because I totally forgot I had a tech um, organization that I belong to. I hate that I look at the bottom of this and be like, wow, I way overspent. And like, it's not as bad as it looks. If you take this out and this, right? Like that's the overspending. I overspent by like, $70. But it looks a lot worse because I spent out double for bills that I didn't have to. But I'm not like, I mean, that was an accidental over budget. That was just not me spending recklessly, carelessly, stupidly. I should have just gotten rid of them in the first place. And I didn't, and I thought I had plenty of time, but the money came out way earlier than I thought. And I was like, wait, why? And I even like looked at my account and I was like, why does my account have so little in it? Like they literally removed it from my account and started sending it. And I was like, but the due date on this thing isn't until like you said you're not paying it until the 5th. Like, why are you taking this money out? But whatever. Live and learn. Feel dumb. I mean, I did want to make an extra mortgage payment. That was one of my goals. That was like, maybe if I can get enough saved, like that'll be the next thing I do, which still wasn't even really sold on it, frankly, because I thought, probably better off to put that money in the market. So that's what I get for putting it out in the universe, I guess. All right. So $616 ended up going into my emergency fund out of my budget of 1,128, which makes sense because, extra payments and all that. Nothing went into my medical fund, but I spent $90.27. Spent $2.99 on my subscriptions, and nothing came out of my subscription. So I put $155.99 in. I don't really know why. In fact, I think I'm going to check on that. That's really weird. Um, oh, I bet it's not negative for whatever reason. So somehow my credit card got connected to one of my mother's Apple accounts because we're on a family plan or whatever. So she has her iCloud, whatever the level is is 99 cents. So it comes out of mine. It's not really the end of the world. And like, I definitely get it back throughout the year because my mom will like, if I'll tell her like, hey, whatever I bought you came to like 290, she'd be like, oh, just make it 300. So like, she definitely gives it back. But I'm betting I put that in there and it wasn't minus. I didn't make it negative. So, okay, well, I'll have to fix that. Typically, it's just 155 that goes in. And those are the only things that come out this month. So basically, my subscriptions, I pay a lot of them like in advance for the whole year so I can get the discount. I'm changing a lot of that. I'm canceling a lot of them. And at this point, like, I just don't know. I'll have to kind of reassess in December exactly how much I should be putting in that account. So there are some months where like nothing gets paid, and then there's other months where like 6 things get paid and it looks like I have $7 in there. So Knitting Line Club, $17. That comes out at the very beginning of the month. Giving Fund, I put $35 in there just to, kind of put that back up to where it was. My car insurance, $59. I do that every month. Car repair, I spent $509.12 because I had to replace my windshield. Erg. Very annoying. Didn't put anything in it because it was topped off. So I have to start putting money back into that next month. Gift fund, once again, topped off. And I'll have to start putting money back in. This was basically the flowers that I got for my cousin and her family after her father-in-law passed. Nothing to my garden fund. $342 went into my travel fund because my mother I put $42 in just to kind of start building that back up. My mother gave me $300. That was her portion of the the new plane tickets, and spent $529.96 out of it, which was the new plane tickets. So there's that. My alarm's going off here. I got to get ready for work. Clothing, spent $44.96. I bought like some bras and underwear and stuff because I was getting to the point where it was getting necessary. Those can only go for so long before they start falling apart. So anyway, finally bit the bullet. I've been putting it off and putting it off. I've probably put it off for a year longer than I should have. I finally just said, "This is ridiculous. Buy underwear, Kelly. Buy underwear." So, anyway, all that to say, these are my expenses, and it was kind of a crazy month. I spent way more than I thought I was going to, mostly because I wasn't exactly paying attention to what I was doing. So it happens. It definitely happens. Oh well, won't happen again. Made that mistake. No, it probably will happen again sometime. I hope I don't need to change banks again because that's the biggest reason behind all of it. But anyway, if you are still here, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.